Hi, this is Team 15 with the MD mouse. Uh, this is a computer mouse capable of measuring blood pressure. Uh, the group consists of me, Anand, Jamila, Rex, Noel, and Clayton. Of some background for our project is that hypertension is a very common condition. There's 3 million cases just in the US alone. So hypertension or high blood pressure can lead to cardiac disease and stroke and other cardiac illnesses. And currently, with the pandemic, it does lead to comorbidities with COVID-19. The biggest problem is that measuring in a medical setting is often very time consuming and inaccurate, and it doesn't do well over time. So currently we're working on a self-monitoring device that can solve this and is still accurate.
The current methods available for monitoring blood pressure are doctor's office visits and various at-home blood pressure monitors. The primary limitations of measurements taken at the doctor's office is that there's limitation in frequency and for some individuals accessibility to begin with. Also, the environment of measurement means that that measurements may reflect induced anxiety from being in a doctor's office, which is known as white coat hypertension. So while the context of at-home measurements don't create white coat hypertension, these devices are largely inaccurate, which can allow hypertension to go undetected. So there is still a need for a blood pressure monitoring device that is accurate, easy to use, efficient, and able to be used at home or work in order to accurately characterize blood pressure over time.
So our technical specifications are derived from user needs that we figured out talking with our industry liaison. Because the device needs to be accurate, we were hoping to have an accuracy of 5 millimeters of mercury, and it needs to display all the necessary measurements on the screen to let you know what's going on. The cuff must fit a human adult index finger, and those are the specifications that we were able to figure out. And it must only take a minute to transmit the readings because we want it to be as efficient and easy to use as possible.
So we are lucky enough to work with a device that is already fully manufactured, which you can see in the left-hand picture. The problem with this device is that it's still not fully accurate, so it can take recordings, but they're probably not perfectly accurate. So as you can see in the left-hand picture, your index finger will go in the little cuff with the heart on it, and that's how the device will take your blood pressure. On the right-hand side, you can see the view of the inside of the mouse. So as you can see, there's the sensor, the pressure regulator, the solenoid valve, and the pump. And these are all connected by a horizontal tube. And one of the things we're looking at modifying in this device is the length of that tube in order to reduce signal attenuation. So here you can see the flaws in the device. So this is one of the recordings that we actually did on ourselves. And as you can see, it records the blood pressure as 99/57, which is very low and is almost in hypotension range, which is not accurate for the person who we were measuring. So this is what we're looking to improve with this project.
So as Noel mentioned, our primary goal is to shorten that horizontal piece of tubing. In fact, we want to eliminate that piece altogether in order to shorten the overall tube length, with the end goal being reducing the signal attenuation and more accurately reading measurements of hypertension. In order to do this, we are modifying the housing for the valve and the regulator by turning them 90 degrees and moving them closer to where the rest of the tubing is. This should completely eliminate that overall horizontal tube. In order to test our device, we want to test both a version of the mouse with the original tubing and geometry, as well as one after our modifications. And in order to do this, we will compare our device's measurements to measurements that we take from a mercury sphygmomanometer, which is considered the blood pressure gold standard. In order to compare these, we're going to record our blood pressure with the device multiple times a day per person to establish a baseline, and then record it multiple times by artificially raising our blood pressure and then taking measurements in order to simulate hypertension.
So to conclude, there's a need for a more accurate device. The MD mouse fills this need, and we're currently in the process of making the device more accurate. Our future plans include a more rigorous testing, changing the material, and filling the tube with fluid. We also look to add possibly more vital sign measuring capabilities.
Just as a final note, we'd like to thank everyone that helped make this possible: Terry Malloy, Dr. Colin Drummond, Dr. Matthew Williams, Aidan Friedrich, as well as the National Institute of Biomedical Imaging and Bioengineering of the National Institutes of Health. Thank you very much.